The language of your story has everything to do with who you're actually speaking to at this moment, at this time, who can use it, who needs that type of support. You see, don't bother focusing on all of the, people who are just lurking in the shadows. They may ultimately come to you. That's fine. But I'm going to let you know something. Here's a little story. Here's a story that I actually was using just yesterday. I had a friend who I was calling, and I needed to actually call American Assistance for this credit card. Okay. I needed him to be able to give me some information about this thing. There's reasons, but you don't need to know that. The point is, you need to understand that there was my friend listening in as I was actually on my phone talking to the people at the support desk. I've been doing this for a while. I got on the support, my friend was listening. I was explaining something to this person on the support. It was a little bit of a long story. In this long story, I needed to explain some stuff in advance of actually getting the problem solved. Once I got the problem solved, I got off the call, and my friend said, "You sounded a little like a crazy person, going off on all of this stuff that they didn't need to hear." And I said, "Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense that you would think that. But the truth is, I have been doing this a lot with these people, calling from Europe, dealing with support for fraud, security, all sorts of things, and I need to give them all sorts of information. Now, I'm not sure that all of them always need to hear all that information, but the fact is, I know the protocol there quite well. And I know through experience that I am giving them perhaps a little more information than some of them need, but most of them actually go through the steps that I'm about to describe to them, and I let them know because it shortens the amount of time. I have added extra stuff on the front that it will actually shorten the amount of time on the back. And I know because I have dealt with this a lot. If I gave them less information up front, it would take much more than the difference between the amount of time that I did take, the longer amount of time, and that shorter amount of time. That might be, let's say 3 minutes less would result in me having a 10 to 15-minute additional conversation with these people in order to get my shit done. Meanwhile, this is a long distance call for me. I don't take that lightly, and I don't want to spend my time hanging out with these people for an extra 15 minutes. So he saw that it seemed like I was rambling on. I wasn't. I was actually shortening the overall call. And when I told him that, he said, "Yeah, I've dealt with that stuff too." I said, "Right. So now you understand why, without knowing what you were hearing, I sounded like what you referred to as a crazy person." And I was not. I was knowingly, logically, methodically moving through something. This is so, if I can offer you this, you, not them, and not me talking to my friend calling him you. I'm talking to you. When you understand that you are not talking to just like a bunch of faceless people and you're trying to get people to potentially come out of the woodwork, the people who are in the woodwork, they're going to come out when they come out. The people that you're looking to speak to are the people who are actually addressing the stuff now. All of the rest of them, They'll do it in their own time. But don't try to be cloying. Don't try to be desperate. Don't try to be convincing. Don't try to be convincing. Convince. End of story. Stand in your truth. I have all sorts of people questioning whether or not I really know what I'm doing on a regular basis. They have every right to wonder, and I have every right to say, wonder all you want. I'm here moving my shit forward the way I know works, and you do too. You're here moving your shit forward, getting it the way you know it ought to be. You owe no one an apology. You owe no one an additional explanation, and you owe no one a mea culpa for trying your best. However, if you're just kind of stabbing at things in the dark or throwing darts at a dartboard, hoping something will stick, like throwing spaghetti at the wall, trying to see which thing is going to show up and make some big decision for you. If you're just using chance, too bad. That's a shame. Plan your shit. Make it methodical. Make it as best as you possibly can. Learn from the best people who actually know. Do not pay attention to your neighbor or your friend just because they say just show up. That's not enough. Not everybody's stuff is for you, and you're not for everybody's stuff. So stop trying to be liked. That's for chumps. That's some weak ass shit. Bring it big. Unapologetically. Make large things happen. And don't worry about the people who are listening from the sidelines who don't quite get it because they don't understand the context. And after all, you're not actually talking to them right now. When they're ready to be spoken to because they pony up and they understand it and they get it because they've been paying attention and they've been priming themselves to be on the new next A team, then you can speak to them and they'll know it. Other than that, let them be there. It's okay. See you later.